Prepare now. This is not a game. Lock your seatbelt in, get prepared, become stoic, and understand that as you look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. As you're fully consumed and distracted by the Epstein files, P. Diddy, and all these different things that they keep you trapped in this emotional cycle. I told you since 2020, they are changing your whole financial system. And today I'm going to show you the facts, figures, numbers, logic. Now, my channel, I just want to be very clear with you. This is not the hype channel. This is not the get rich quick channel. This is not the price prediction channel. This is building wealth kingdom way. Slow, methodical, patient. I'm going to give you the real deal. I'm going to give you the understanding of what's happening now, how we took advantage of this from 2020 to 2025, how we're going to take advantage of this from 2025 to 2030, and how if you're entering right now, and as you come in on the back end, which is the top, how you can stay patient and then over the next 4 years, radically transform your family's life. So if you make it to the back end of every video, I share with you exactly what I'm doing, and I'm going to go a little bit deeper into understanding the levels of coming in. If you came in 2020, you're in massive profit right now. If you came in 2024 on the back end when it peaked, you might be just hitting a little bit of profit. And if you start to come in on the back end, you may have to hold all the way to 2030. But remember, the person who can stay in the market will become the wealthiest. And here's a fact. People will stay in a job that they hate for 30 years to retire with $275,000 to $1 million a year. At 4% interest, $1 million a year is only $40,000 in retirement income. But most people won't stay patient for 5 years, investing in the new infrastructure of the financial system to live the rest of their life free. So that's what this channel is about, keeping you calm, keeping you stoic, keeping you safe and out of the get rich quick, and showing you how to build an empire King Solomon's way. So let's dive in. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is I like to keep the logic going, right? And on this channel, I repeat the same things over and over and over again in nauseam, because what you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes unconscious activities. Okay, we have to rewire the foundation to end up in a different situation. So the first thing I'm going to show you is Abs posted this on March 19th, 2025. Okay, just a quick reminder, March 19th, 2025. This is when Brad announced at an event that the Ripple was dropping the appeal, or excuse me, the SEC was dropping the appeal. By March 24th, it was settled. Okay, now we still have the settlement and the fines and all that stuff. And then the next day, Trump announced the modernization of the payment system. Now, remember, Brad was hanging out at the White House during the whole presidency part, his election, all this different stuff, right? Brad was at the White House once again just recently. XRP and Bitcoin are going to be number 1 and number 2. Ripple is part of the new system. So let's watch this first, and then I'm going to take you all the way to how massive last week was. Then I'm going to share with you where we are going. Check this out.
At Summit, just a few minutes ago, right before we walked up here, I posted on X that we can now announce that the SEC is no longer pursuing their appeal in the Ripple case. We're obviously, yeah, thank you.
Okay, so that was on March 19th. It was official on March 24th. And the next day on March 25th, 2025, Trump signs the executive order modernizing the payments to, modernization of the payments to and from Americans' bank account. So this was the full executive order on transitioning on faster payments. Okay. Then we come into last week, which is a historical, massive week. And most people, I mean, people are still worried about it. They're literally changing your financial system. Okay. Remember after World War II, Bretton Woods, IMF, right? America became the world's reserve currency, just like they did in Nixon's days. You know, he comes on a regular program show. We're detaching you from the gold standard to protect you from speculators. This is something that we will never experience in our living history again. And there'll never be an opportunity for you to take advantage and invest in the infrastructure. So this is what happened last week.
This afternoon, we take a giant step to cement American dominance of global finance and crypto technology as we sign the landmark Genius Act. I pledged that we would bring back American liberty and leadership and make the United States the crypto capital of the world, and that's what we've done. The Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to establish and unleash the immense promise of dollar-backed stable coins.
This Genius Act will unlock American dominance in the crypto industry by creating clear rules of the road. It will update archaic payment rails with.
It will update archaic payment rails. I've been telling you since 2020, moving from an archaic banking system to a new modern banking system.
A revolutionary new payment system, and it will extend U.S. dollar dominance, like you said, globally. This is a huge promise made and promise kept by President Trump. We have a deal maker in chief, and it's because of your vision, your leadership, your determination, your skill that we're all here today. So thank you very much, President Trump.
So today's signing, the future of crypto and the crypto industry, the U.S. dollar working together is going to be stronger and bigger and better than ever before. Thank you, everybody, very much. Thank you.
Okay, so now we know where we're at. Okay, now we're at full regulation. Remember, first they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. It's an exact science. Okay, we all experienced, they sued it. Okay, first they resist it. We experienced 2017 to 2023. They resisted it. Then we sued it in 2020. They sued it. Okay, then they regulate it. Then they join it. Now you're in regulation and joining phase if you're just coming in. You're in what's called adoption phase. Okay, so now there's phases. I'm going to break all these down as they get to the back end of the video. Okay, it says, welcome home. That's Bo Hines' message to crypto firms that moved overseas to America the past 4 years.
Bo Hines from the White House. Bo
Hines is the executive director for the White House, and he has said multiple times, how much Bitcoin do you guys want to buy? He said as much as possible.
I'm really interested in the fact that you guys just had the House pass the Genius and Clarity Acts. What do you think is the most immediate impact on both the industry and on the American consumer?
Well, look, I mean, the president made big promises on the campaign trail to this industry, and this is a monumental step toward delivering on those. I mean, the Genius Act is really going to revolutionize our financial system. It updates an archaic payment rail system that currently exists. It makes transactions more cost-effective, more expeditious, and more transparent. You know, I liken it to the ways in which we communicate and how technology's changed over the last several decades. The ways in which we move money really haven't, at least in traditional systems. So this.
Okay. Remember I told you, messaging moves at the speed of light, supply chain moves at the speed of light, money has to move at the speed of light. So for those of you who are still struggling that this is going to happen, you don't have a choice anymore. You won't even know that you're operating on blockchain. You won't even know that when you transact, I'm making money on XRP, right? That price is going to keep going up to get that transaction cheaper, right? You're just going to be using faster payments. All Visa, MasterCard, Bank of America, everything's going to be tokenized. The stock market's going to be tokenized. Your real estate's going to be tokenized. Your marriage certificate's going to be tokenized. And we own the rails. Okay, we own the rails. That's the critical part of this. Now, it sounded crazy in tinfoil hat in 2020 to 2023 until BlackRock was like, it's a flight to quality. Remember, I showed you the video 3 years ago. Trump said he was getting into Bitcoin, and his family's wealth has increased dramatically. Why? Because of cryptocurrency. And I'm going to show you a video tomorrow where they're going to continue to get wealthier, and they're about to buy billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. Okay. This is Scott Bessent. This is a Treasury Secretary. Bullish blockchain technologies will power the next generation of payments, and the US dollar is coming on chain. Okay, I'll leave you with this. Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, which become a complete, legit Wall Street asset, Coinbase. I hope people realize how important this moment is for crypto. Genius Act is the first federal crypto bill signed into law, with more on the way. Financial revolution is here. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, guys. So let me explain to you guys the first thing that you need to do. Okay, you need to get organized. Okay, I'm the co-founder and creator of Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. Okay, this is not an investment. This is not an exchange. So what we did is we modernized how people organize their cryptocurrency. Okay, so number one is you need to get all your exchanges in one place. This is a visual. Okay, look at this. So imagine this. You have all your cryptos in one place. You got your daily gains and losses. You don't have to go all over the place. There's also safety in it too. If you're traveling, I look up on my Merlin. I don't pull up on my exchanges. I don't connect to people's Wi-Fi, things like that to keep my crypto safe, because this is an interface. We don't hold your keys or combos. It just brings everything into one place. You got your daily gains and losses. Okay, here's the powerful part. You got the exchanges too. See how you can pull all your exchanges in here, organizes everything for you. You can see the markets at a snapshot. Okay, we see BTC at 118, ETH is at 3,700, 354. We're about to go into massive altcoin season. The market cap's at 3.9 trillion. And we got, oh, there we go. This is the signal right here, guys. BTC dominance just dropped under 60. Get ready for your altcoins to run. All other cryptos are going to run. When BTC dominance drops under 60, get ready for altcoin. Okay, now here's the powerful part. We have exit plans. Boom. You click here. You can create an exit plan. We alert you when you get close to your exit targets, because you will get emotional and you will get wrecked. Okay. It's not profits unless you realize them. So it helps you organize building an exit plan. It helps understand based on what you enter as your tax liabilities. It tells you how much you'll owe in taxes, right? The key to this is to profit, right? We don't get in the markets to not profit. People are like, don't pull profits. Why would you get into the markets? That doesn't make any sense, but I'll show you why in just a moment of what I do with my profits. Okay. So if you're like, well, how do I set up an exit plan? Boom, we got you. We have a whole team. We show you how to set up exit targets, how to use Fibonacci. And then if you're stuck, boom, go here, go to our customer service. We actually have physical customer service for all my companies that will actually call you and talk to you. Okay. So Merlin is 30 days for free. I'm the co-founder and creator of Merlin. It's down below in the description of my video or my social media platform. Try it for 30 days. You don't like it? Cancel. Most people don't cancel because they absolutely love it. Keeps you organized, keeps you focused. Okay. So that's in my bio. Go download that, get locked in, get organized, go into my social media or YouTube down here. You can get 30 days for free. Okay. So here's exactly what I do. If you're still watching and you've been here a long time, I appreciate you watching this because I want to share with you. And if things change, come to the back end of this video. If things change, I'll share with you what happens. Okay. So here's how I do it, guys. Bitcoin, we're holding like a bank. I'm never selling my Bitcoin. Okay, I accumulate XRP and Bitcoin every single day. Why? You have the inflationary US dollar, which makes me poor every single time I get paid in it because I'm paid in your debt and you're paid in my debt. I transmute that every single day, dollar cost averaging, tactical as it comes out of my account automatically. Okay. And I buy XRP and Bitcoin every single day. So as you go do Starbucks and you eat out every day, I actually buy Bitcoin and XRP to make my family wealthier. Okay. I have many other cryptos. My top 6 are XRP number 1, Bitcoin number 2, Solana number 3, XLM, HBAR, and VeChain. Those are my top 6. I'm going to tell you guys everything. I'm going to pull back the curtain. Okay. That's my portfolio. Okay. I focus on 4 things: cash flow. Okay. I invest in deflationary assets that are opposite the US dollar. Bitcoin and XRP have fixed supplies. So I move and transmute my inflationary debt dollar that's trash, and I move it into deflationary assets. Number 2 creates 2 components for me. I'll show you in just a moment. Number 3 is protection. I use cash value life insurance. Okay. They must be structured properly and funded properly. Okay. I have an elite team that can help you with that. It's in my bio or in the description of this video. I own my own firm where we teach people how to use cash value life insurance to create family banks, to grow their money tax-free, to borrow to richest man in Babylon at very low leverage to create more assets. Okay. And then leverage. So we got cash flow, we got deflationary assets, we have protection. Okay, been around since the Roman days, the first annuity, tax code 77028, 1913. Do your research. And we got leverage. Okay, so I have 2 leverage components. I have my Bitcoin bank and I have my insurance bank. So eventually my family will never have to go to a bank ever again. I'll give you an example. I just leveraged recently. I keep saying it's been a couple months now. I leveraged, I put myself in first position. I detached from an IMO and insurance company, and I built my own brokerage. Okay. So I needed cash to OPM, use other people's money to buy cash flow. So I went to my Bitcoin, locked it up on SALT, SALT. Okay. I borrowed at 14%. Someone's like, 14%. Oh my God. Well, they gave me their cash at 14%. Never sold any of my Bitcoin. No tax implications. Okay. Debt is free. Okay. That's how the wealthy get wealthy. The working poor use debt to become poorer. The wealthy use debt to get richer. I borrowed at 14%, went and bought the firm. Firm is already profitable. I don't ever leverage unless I can pay it off with cash flow. I buy cash flow. So I bought cash flow, the firm, boom, paying it off. Okay. We got 6 payments left. Once that's paid off, okay, I paid 14%. But be like, God, but you paid 14%. it grows 50% every year. I made 36% on my own money. I'm the bank. I'm in first position. Okay. Then we got the insurance side. You can borrow some of the policies at 5% per year. At $100,000, what is that? That's $5,000 per year. If you can beat the hurdle rate, if you could borrow, you put cash in, you borrow. I let it sit for about a year. I let it accumulate. I get through the first year, put more cash in, right? Borrow low leverage. I go buy cash flow, cash generating dividend. Cash generating dividend pays it off. We're buying cash flow all over the place, guys. Cash is trash. Cash flow is king. Listen to me. Cash is trash. Cash flow is king. What's going to happen is taxes are going to be lower. Money's going to be printed, interest rates are going to go down, and the American public is going to go buy big jacked up trucks with big old rims. They're going to go buy newer iPhones, bigger boats. They're going to buy stuff. They indoctrinated us. You need to transmute your cash into things that actually appreciate. And you need to use that appreciation to get low leverage to buy cash flow. You buy the liabilities, the boats, the trucks, the cars, the fun things with OPM, other people's money. You buy them with assets. Okay. And head of household, men specifically, get your shit together. Don't buy stuff that takes away from your family's future. You don't need a bigger truck. You don't need a nicer car. You need to learn how to create businesses. You need to learn how to create cash flow. You need to learn how to become an investor. I love being an investor. Think about this. Okay. Think about this. Would you rather be Warren Buffett or the CEO of Apple? And don't quote me the numbers. These are just an example. I think this is the numbers. Pretty close. Warren Buffett makes about $2 million per day from Apple. The CEO makes about $20 million a year. In 10 days, Warren Buffett makes as much as the CEO makes in a whole year. So would you rather be the investor or would you rather be the worker? You have to, there's only a debtor and an asset person, guys. There's no money in the system. There's no money in the system. Okay. The Trump family is getting extremely wealthy in cryptocurrency. Everything they're signing into law benefits them dramatically. But unfortunately, there's no thing being signed into law around financial literacy. There's nothing being signed into law to change our education system. Let's do real talk. They're not signing anything into law to say, let's rewire the education system and stop rewarding people for a grade point average. And let's reward them for their skill, for their talent, for their creativity. Let's reward them for understanding macro and microeconomics. For example, my son asked me, he said, Dad, can I get paid to do some extra chores? I said, no, you can do extra chores because that's what you're supposed to do. I said, what I will pay you for is knowledge. You go read a book, I'll give you some dough. You want to go buy a new RC car? Read a book. I'll pay you a little bit of dough, chip a little bit of that payment off, right? Because you can take that knowledge and transmute that into cash flow. I'm not going to pay you to do what you're supposed to do. I'm not going to pay you to pick up your underwear off the floor, but I will pay you for knowledge. I'll pay you for knowledge. But what we do is we tell our kids to spend $100,000 in education, okay, for knowledge that is free, that they can go to the library and get, that you could teach them. And then they go get a $30,000 a year job. We charge them $100,000 for knowledge, and then they can't even pay off the knowledge. Knowledge is free. The library is free. That's how I learned all this. I went to the library. I studied YouTube. I studied all this stuff because I finally got pissed off in 2020 when they shut my business down. And I said, I will never, ever be in a position where a man or woman can come into my facility, my business, and take away my ability to feed my family. The pandemic, they shut down our business. And men, you should be thinking this way too. So I became an investor. And every time I get paid, I transmute that into something that's deflationary, that's going to grow. When I profit, I'm about to profit greatly over the next 6 months. I'm pulling some profits off the table. Okay. I'm holding some. Bitcoin's not leaving. I'm pulling some profits. I'm stuffing it into my cash value life insurance. My family is protected like you wouldn't believe, right? I'm going to continue to buy cash generating dividends. With the cash generating dividends, I'm not buying houses, Lambos, and cars. I'm going to put it back into deflationary assets. And when I want the fun stuff, and I'm almost there, when I want the fun stuff, I will take the cash. I'll put it in a cash value life insurance policy. I'll borrow against the insurance company. I'll put it into a dividend. I'll go get a loan from the bank and use their money, and I'll let the dividend pay off the loan. I'm not taking anything away from my family. That's our responsibility as men. Head of household, and I'm talking to head of household as well. So women as well. It's like, that's our responsibility. We got to get out of this indoctrination. I wish they were signing executive orders to educate our kids on financial literacy, on what economics are. Teach them Ray Dalio's Changing World Order, Robert Kiyosaki, Cash Flow Quadrant. That's what they should be teaching in economics. That's what they should be teaching. But no, they teach our kids how to get graded by a grade point average. And then they give us a credit score. Oh, you got a good credit score. You got a good grade point average. You're Kamdalulilani, whatever you graduate with, whatever the hell that's called, right? I barely made it. D's got degrees. I barely made it through banking school. D's got degrees. I barely made it. But one thing I have is discipline, consistency. I will never, ever, ever stop. And I can continue to gain knowledge. And then I take it and I implement it. And I can surround myself with people that are way smarter than me. That's my skill set. But damn well, I'm not going to let another man or woman control my ecosystem ever again. And that's the opportunity you have right now. So we became financially free from 2020 to 2025, but we ain't out of this matrix yet. You're not out of the matrix until you can't stop the money from flowing, till you literally don't have to trade an ounce of your time for money. Warren Buffett is free. Okay. That's the aim. Until we get there, we make ourselves last to make our ecosystem first. It's God, family, protect your ecosystem at all costs and stay out of other men's business because they're too busy working on yours. Warriors, rah, let's get your shit together. Let's go. Love you guys. God bless you.